Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Very good.
Hello, Tina.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Great.
How do y'all like this new Connect to Collaborate?
I like it.
Me as well. I think it's more doable, at least for my schedule, anyways, on Fridays.
It
Yeah,
works because there was nothing much on Friday. So this works.
right. Yeah, if anybody tried to get in early, my apologies. I was bumping people out because we have another meeting that goes on from 10 to 11 Eastern on Friday. So, in fact, we were
Okay.
talking about possibly making our meeting earlier to keep that from happening, but that's why. If any of you tried to get in and were removed and
Yeah.
couldn't, that's because you were end and then start a new session. Zoom acting okay now?
You're cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. You got a new Wi-Fi.
Don't get it.
You got a new Wi-Fi or modem you're setting up or something.
I've got a new mesh router system that I have not set up yet that hopefully will fix it because my speed is fine.
Okay. Yeah.
I just won't talk.
Yeah. You could talk. You could talk. So, how's everybody doing? Good.
Very good.
Trying to figure all this stuff out. Danelle's in she's brand new to EXP. She's in. You got fast cap going. Not a
Yes,
new
I do.
not a new
Yeah,
agent, but just it's a lot. It's just a lot.
it's
It's
a
a lot when you
lot.
first get over here. It's so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I did want to mention yesterday my class with them, the fast cap, it was having a problem fading in and out as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
I thought it was just me, but
Yeah.
Y'all just remember Orange Beach, Pensacola, Gulf Shores, not
There you
Andy, Tina.
go.
I know he's not
Oh,
on because he's on vacation. So I can say that while he's on vacation.
yeah, he watches these recording though when he puts them on the
Well,
YouTube
that's
channel.
okay. I'll share with him. I'm gonna do whatever he needs me to do. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll
Tim, we're
share the
outnumbered.
love
We're
with you for
outnumbered here,
Central
Boots.
Florida.
What's that, Chrissy?
I said Danelle and I will share the love for North Central Florida.
There
yeah.
you
So if you guys, and this would be very helpful to me, so I should mention it because it comes up now routinely. Bailey and I will get a lead. So we stretch from, say, the Gulf Shores, Baldwin County, Alabama, over to Navarre, and she will go further than Navarre into south, right? And we get leads, and they are responding to a South Alabama Gulf Coast
Mm.
post, but they really want Rosemary Beach or St. Petersburg. We had one for St. Augustine. So it's very helpful for me to know I'm kind of a loyalty girl where if I see you and we're collaborating on these types of calls, that I would much rather recommend, and going to, I'm mostly going to be an EXP referral, but if you guys will share your information, um, and maybe somebody can facilitate sharing for those that are consistent on the Freedom Team calls. I would love to have that information because this week twice I had to call Bailey and say, who do we know in this part of more central South Florida that we can refer?
Yeah, that would be helpful too. Yeah, we'll share.
And I'm guilty of this. Jeff is not. As you can see, if you look at his name on his Zoom screen, it says Colorado Springs. And sometimes I change mine to Louisville, Kentucky. Sometimes I don't. But I'll share the Gulf Shores one with you, Tina, because I spend half my year there.
It's good to do. And I got that idea, I think, from you, to put that on there. Just because, a lot of these meetings
Yeah.
we're on. I mean, I don't know. I'm on some meetings. I was on a meeting yesterday, 135 agents on there, from all over the place. And so just to have that on there, you never know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you'll
You
say
get
to
a call
yourself,
afterwards or
who
a
do I
chat
know?
Yeah, a message in the chat or something specific to you, whatever. Hey, what's your number? I'll give you a call afterwards. I might have a
I
referral.
just looked up Kathy's information because I have someone in Tennessee, a family member that he needs somebody.
Great.
There you go.
Kathy's not a very good agent, though.
Oh, shut up. I'll put myself
Oh,
in there. My clients would tell you different.
This one will be, he's the militant money guy, finance guy. So he's militant. He'll be one of those that makes you work for it.
That's all right.
What can we help everybody with? What's happening out there? What are you guys seeing?
I
So I
do
have
have
another-
some questions,
I have-
Yeah,
if you
sure.
don't mind. I did sign up for the funnels, the new construction funnels, so that's going really well, getting some good leads there, having a few conversations. But I've got some questions. I was paying to have like some newsletters into Bold Trail. And I was just wondering, I plan to do more of some of my own content and creating some newsletters. And I was just wondering, I have two questions. One regarding newsletters, like kind of where some good places to get information for them in order to create them. And then also sidebar to reviews, if you're all using something like Rate My Agent or any type of other platforms, or how you're really working to best get reviews from clients.
Okay.
I'm going to let Jeff take the first part of that question. I'm going to answer the second part. I would do all of your reviews on your Google business page
Okay, that's what I've
because
been
your
doing so far.
AEO, GEO search is going to be largely dependent on that. And Jeff's the master at newsletters inside of Go High Level. So
Well, and Christy, what makes me think too, we should set up a Zoom, you and me,
Okay.
where I could go through some stuff because if you have your funnel back on now, it'd be good to go in there. I've had mine running for about 4 months. I'm sure there's some little tweaks that we could make just
Okay,
to
great.
enhance it and help it. But the newsletter piece, I mean, I think it's good. Like, I don't know, I've got a whole bunch of sites that I just have saved. Now, of course, I've got a newsletter I put out every Monday to buyer and seller prospects that have come in through the funnel. I've got a newsletter I put out every Monday to agents as well. So it's two different groups of
Okay.
people. But like, realtor.com, if you go on there, like, I mean, I go there, but there's just tons of articles on there. Now, sometimes I'll do this too, where you can take one of those articles, put it into Claude or ChatGPT and have it rewrite the article like in your words and your voice,
Okay.
whatever, and create your own article. So it's not sending somebody back to realtor.com to read the article. It's, you're putting this, maybe that whole article is part of your newsletter,
Okay.
you want to become the expert. So, I mean, I do that
Yeah.
quite a bit too, where I'll just, have it rewrite it for me.
Okay.
So, but let's set up a time where we can get on Zoom. And so because not everybody on here has the funnels going. So, but you and I can get on and definitely look at some of that stuff. And I can
Okay.
show you the
That sounds
newsletter
great.
piece. Okay. Do
Perfect.
you have my Calendly link? You still have that?
You might have to send it to me again, or yeah.
I'll get it to you. Okay. So, yeah, there's a
Wonderful.
bunch of good sites out there. Keeping Current Matters. I mean, I don't know if you subscribe to them. I mean, I do. Like every day, there's just a blog, which is all geared towards.
I do currently subscribe to them, but because they do have a ton of great information, but I've been debating possibly kind of pulling away from
Right.
that. But yeah.
Like, I'll show you this. Like yesterday, I did this. I'll just show you. So yesterday, they had an article. I think it was yesterday, the day before. I'll show you something here. So it was right here. So here's this blog that came out yesterday. 14 years running, why real estate is still America's favorite investment. I literally copied and pasted this and I put it into Claude. I went over here. Let me see here. Where's the chats? I think it was this one. Oh wait, right here. So So I literally copied and pasted this in here, and I said, I wanted to post for my Google business page. First of all, I had it write me a blog Tim, you know this, for our Halo sites. I had to write me a blog for my Halo site. So it rewrote that whole article and put it. This is something we're doing with Nick Krim for those who want to do this. But like, this is the page that we got put together through Nick. I'm still working on things here. But here's that article right here, rewritten by Claude as if I wrote it. And it put the charts, it put the charts and the graphs in there, whatever. And then I took this and I went to Claude and I said, okay, I want a Google business page post for that. I also did a Facebook post. So then I went to ChatGPT, which is better at making images. And I had it make the image for it. And so if you go to my Google business page, right over here, let me show you posts. Right here's that post. So it made this image right here, was America's #1 long-term investment, 14 years in a row. There's the post, and it's leading people back to my blog page right here. I want people to go back to this page to read the whole article. Same thing with Facebook. You know, I've got my Facebook page, which right here, you know, it made me a post. Real estate has been ranked America's #1 long-term investment for 14 years straight, not stocks, not gold, real estate every year, according to Gallup, blah, blah, blah. Read the breakdown, full breakdown in the comments. There's the image that ChatGPT created. And then in the comments, right there's that article. If you click on that, it'll take people back to this page, which then takes them back to my website. So it's all I'm just trying to get it all working together, you know, whatever. But I use Keeping Current Matters to write me a new article. And I could take that. In fact, I probably will. Next Monday in my newsletter, I might put that article in there for my newsletter to send out to buyers and prospects. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. It's a lot, but it does. Just got to practice it.
There's so much content out there like that, but a lot of times I'll just have like Claude or rewrite it for me.
Awesome.
You know,
and that's the most important thing Jeff said. And all that looks overwhelming, but you can put every bit of that in one Claude prompt, one ChatGPT prompt. This, and this with this article. But the most important thing, rewrite it. If you just post a KCM article somewhere else, Google sees it as duplicate content and ignores it. You've got to rewrite it.
Okay.
Have it do that for you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. One more thing to note, I actually have another realtor friend, Jonathan Franklin, who just jumped on this call. I'm going to throw him out there, but he is with another company, but I told him about the Freedom Team, sent him some information, and let him know we would love to have him on the call just to learn a little bit more about what we do as a team. Hope you guys are okay with that, but he is here today. He just got on.
No, he's got to go. Jonathan, John, it's good to have you here. So welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
you have to turn your camera on though, or we'll kick you off.
I'm on the road coming from Miami to Gainesville.
Okay,
don't
turn your camera on.
Jason, good to see you, man. See Jason here. Jason was at our barbecue on Wednesday night, so here in Colorado Springs. So.
Hey, it's good to see you too. Sorry, it's kind of noisy here right now.
No, you're good. We can't hear anything. It's fine. So you're totally good. So, Jamie, good to see you. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good to have you with us. I saw your post today on Facebook. All kinds of things.
Yeah, I've been brainstorming, so I'm trying to get back into the real estate. So I do insurance as well. For anybody that doesn't know, and I have been working on that, and now that I've got that a little bit under wraps, I'm trying to get back into the real estate. And so I've just done like a whole I've been cooking with some stuff. So yeah. I would love to get in touch with you, Jeff, or Tim, either one, and figure out how to just kind of circle back and get, back into the game.
Sure. No, I'm happy to. And again, here, it's great to see you here. Here's one thing I would just tell everybody, like, plug into what we're doing. I'm just telling you, like on Tuesdays, like this Tuesday, we had Tony Williams on. That is one to go back and watch. I mean, with the Google business page, Tony's hitting icon status and 90% of his business is coming from his Google business page, which is free. He hasn't paid for one lead to come in through that page, and he's just learned how to do it. And what is Kathy? I forget his daughter and son-in-law, or son and daughter-in-law. I forget the two, but they've hit icon 8 times. And he said it, 85 to 90% of their business is coming in through their Google business page, because he's just, again, and we've had multiple trainings on that. Like, you just don't want to miss those Tuesdays. There's just so much stuff there. Not that you're going to do everything that's in there, but you'll pick up ideas and you'll pick up nuggets and things to apply and different things. So, but no, happy to, set up a time for sure. So,
Thank you.
and Jeanette, hello.
Hello.
How are you? You unmuted yourself. Do you have a question for us, or a thought, or a comment, or anything?
Yeah, you mentioned about Google. Where can I find those videos so we can, like you said, pick up?
Guys, let's go ahead. They'll just keep coming in here.
Feel free to post
Somebody's there.
Tony's in the chat.
So here's what to do. Go to if you go to our best place to go to everything is go to our Freedom Team page, freedomteamsupport.com.
There you go.
Build this.
freedomteamsupport.com, and right up here at the top, team training calendar.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and then there's a drop down right there, team recorded training. It'll take you back to our YouTube channel.
Got it.
Okay, so just freedomteamsupport.com, like, you can get to everything from there. So, but I would tell you too, to subscribe on here. If you go over here to playlists, like that top row, it's going to have all the most recent, going back in order. Here's the one that was just posted yesterday, 18 hours ago. There's Monday's agent attraction training. Here's last week's, or a YouTube thing. So anyway, you go back here, but then playlists, and then right down here, get more transactions, Tuesday's trainings. They're all right there. You can click on that. The whole playlist is there. There's Nick's AI from last Tuesday. There's Russ from the Tuesday before. There's the expired training we have from the Tuesday before that. That was awesome, by the way. I mean, these have all been so good. So that's where you find them. They're all there. Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Cool.
When you get to the YouTube page, you can also click on the magnifying glass and just search for Google or Google.
Oh, I
GBP
can
or
for search Google.
Yeah, you can find stuff that way too.
Yeah. Let me show you guys that, because if you search up here in the bar, it's going to search all of YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. If you go to an actual page and, like, right here, that search, and you type in Google and just search it, it'll start bringing up stuff. And so you go back here, there's Tony's from a couple days ago.
Got it.
Whatever. Here's the one we had with Dustin from 7 months ago. There's Aaron's from 2 years ago, which both of these combined with Tony's, I'm just saying, even though this one is old, it's still highly valuable. There's still a lot of stuff right there that Aaron will tell you to do that is worth watching, but those three together could easily bring in an extra 6 to 8 deals this year if you just set it up right. And then consistently, I post on there every day, multiple times a day. And some of it's just automated stuff going on there.
Got it.
But there's ways to do that, because why not? It's going to just keep moving you up further and further in Google search.
Yeah. Anything that will help. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
It's always
what else is happening? Who else has something? Any questions, thoughts, questions about a deal, marketing question, problems with a specific listing, or pricing, or open houses, or anything? Danelle, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just an observation. The people that I was working with prior to moving with TXP, wonderful people. The top people were very successful, but there was always that you don't know what you don't know. And now that I've switched with you guys, it's almost like 1,000% the opposite, because there's so much to learn.
Right.
And I really appreciate that. Because if it's, you wake up in the middle of the night, it's okay, let me watch a video, or, when you're driving, it's just, there's always somebody willing to help you and teach you something. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Here's the one thing with that, it is probably the hardest thing about coming over here, because there's a lot. EXP is doing so much. EXP University, the classes that they have in there that are already done, the classes that are coming in the next 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I mean, it's overwhelming. I would like pick a lane and focus on it,
Okay. Yeah.
get it working, get it going, and then go to the next thing. I've made that mistake over time where it's like I'm focused on 5 different things, and
Yeah.
2 months later,
Can't
I'm
do it.
still focused on 5 different things, and none of them are working the way they could or should because
Right.
nothing has my focus.
Right.
And so I finally just had to buckle down, even with my funnel, with the new construction funnel. I finally just got it up and running, got back my attraction funnel. I got that going, and now it's working. And then I could go on and do the other thing. I've been doing the new construction stuff the last like 4 months. Well, then about a month ago, I'm like, okay, that's working. I know what it's doing. Leads are coming in every day.
Mm-hmm.
Working those. We're talking to those. We got closings going on with those. We had one a couple days ago. We have another one next week. My wife was out showing homes yesterday to a lead that came in last week from the new construction funnel, this husband and wife couple. And so that's working. So now I'm working on the multiple offers one, to start going
Oh.
after expired listings. And so I'm working
Mhm.
on that one right now. I'm hoping here, I've got leads coming in from it right now as far as expired listings getting dumped into my CRM. But I got one thing I got to get approved through our state broker. I'm sending that today. And then I'm hoping here next week to start this new thing and see how it goes. And if it works well, then I'll come back and tell all you guys about it. If I fail in it and I flop around a little bit, whatever. But I'm excited about it though. Kind of learning my way through that. But again, the other thing's working. So now I can focus on this. That's been my primary focus here lately. So that's what I would tell you. It's a lot, but just pick one. Like right now, again, I know you're going through fast cap and we can get your funnels going. You're doing your videos for your new construction funnel. Let's get that one going. I know
Okay.
you were asking about buyer webinars. I would tell you, get the new construction funnel going first, learn that system.
Okay.
Now you know the system and how it works. Okay, let's go. That's running. Just let it run.
This morning. Okay.
Yeah, do your
That makes sense.
$5 a day or $10 a day on your Facebook ads, whatever. Now let's get a funnel going for a buyer webinar.
Right.
And you already know the system. That will take a fraction of time to set up because you already know what you're doing. So Jamie, go ahead. I'm sorry. Got your hand
You're
up.
good. Great information. I had a question about continuing education credits. I expire in January, and so where can I go? Because I know that there are some places that I just don't know where, I guess I don't know where to start to look for where do I go to do the continuing ed? Do I go back to the same person where I did the classes? Is that?
There's
Or
multiple places to go. I mean, I don't know if anybody has any thoughts. I know CE Shop is one that people go to. They have, CE Shop. They have like discounted classes, and
Okay.
I think they're available in every state or close to it. I know. I use Van Ed. That's where I've done all mine.
Okay.
And most of their, EXP has some. I think they have some classes. Like it's kind of a state by state basis, though. You could
Okay.
talk to going to EXP World, go to the state broker, just
broker.
see, do you
Okay.
guys, are there any CE classes that, you guys are aware of or that you guys have that I could plug into? Because some states do that as well,
Okay.
but it's a state by state thing. But CE Shop or Van Ed are two that you could look up.
And
Okay.
I would say your local boards, they're a lot of times doing classes, for CE credits, things like that. I mean, in town, we've got local lenders that put together CE, they've got certified CE classes. Those are usually all free, right? They're just trying to get in front of more realtors. And so there's a lot of places to go
Okay.
do that. And to your point, you can go back to where you went. But, if you want to just do it all online, I use the CE shop a lot as well.
Okay.
Or I go to the local boards, or if local lenders are doing it. And I did see an email, and I didn't notice if it was just for Tennessee, but I did see an email come out about a week ago from EXP that they've got 4 classes that are CE certified or accredited. So you may search your EXP emails, or like Jeff said, just go ask the broker if there's any state specific ones.
Thanks, Kathy.
I'm going to echo the CE shop and I put the link in the chat, but I'm going to give you some advice no one else has said yet. And that is, don't go to your local MLS. Go to the city nearest you outside of your market area and take a class 50 miles away and buddy up with everybody in the classroom on breaks, you will get referrals out of that. I have one contact I made on a out of city CE class, and I've probably gotten 15 referrals from one agent over the last 4 or 5 years.
Great point.
Two. Yeah.
Was that totally garbled, Jeff?
No, it all worked. Yeah,
No,
your
sound
internet
good.
worked good on that one. So
Okay, good. Thank you.
that is a great suggestion. I was going to say the same thing, just even locally, but that's even better. Go out of town if you can and take a 3-hour class, and it's a 1-day class, and meet the agents. Yeah, great idea.
Yep.
I have a
And
question.
if you're interested in attraction, that's a whole new pool of new contacts for you.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Tina,
That was a Coldwell Banker broker that sends me all those referrals, and he will talk to me when his franchise expires about
there you go.
as well. So
Very
double
cool.
in that one.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tina. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I've had coincidentally several leads come in that have been very well prepared, I'll say, first of all. Second of all, I know that they're using a chat GPT or some sort of AI to ask questions.
Mhm.
And they're investors, which we get a lot of that down here on the coast. And they're asking great questions, but they're asking, this one lady, it's 3 pages of questions. She's had me put together several things, and I questioned myself a little bit. I went ahead and did everything and know a lot of this stuff already, but comparing, contrasting the condominium complexes, she's got her list of what she's identified as what her needs are going to be, what her rental income requirements are going to be. She wants to know, she's asking all the right questions, which you put it into chat GPT and it's telling you what those questions are. And I can tell that that's what these folks are doing. And then they're, sending them and really saying, she expressly said, I'm interviewing you the agent because I'm looking to make a long-term investment. I'm going to do multiple investments. Great. I have no problem with it. But it is a lot of work up front. When would you push her? I've sent her the recad. In Alabama, we have a disclosure document that has to be sent to every person that we deal with. They can sign it or not, but it has to be sent to them. But from the buyer's perspective, the buyer brokerage, when do you send that to them and push them before you've done all this tremendous work? Because I looked back at it last night. I have a Zoom conference call with her today because she's in another state. And she did sign my buyer brokerage. I sent it this morning, but when do you send that to them as you're getting started before you do all this work, or after you do all the work? They've already put you on notice that you're competing, right? Possibly. But I've had several recently, and that's why I asked the question.
My personal opinion, I would try to get them to an appointment as the first step. Get your face in front of them over Zoom. Say, I want to meet you, confirm that you're real, not just some AI bot. Please respect that. It's a dangerous world out there. And develop the rapport on the Zoom and then start answering their questions. Second thing, every question she asks you, you need to answer in your blog post, your website, because other people are asking it too. Then you'll start becoming an authority from an AEO search standpoint. Make sure you capitalize on that, and then you can refer people to the answers that are already there.
Does that make sense, Tina?
It does. Is there a point at which you push on these? I've been following since they became a thing to be mandatory, the buyer brokerage. Is there a time when you push sooner than later? Because I questioned myself several days this week. We already had the Zoom scheduled, and then I finally went ahead and sent her the buyer brokerage, and I explained it to her, and I basically said, I'm sure you're aware of this because you've done such thorough research, but this is required for me to go much further. I can't really even show you virtually properties until I have this. And, that's my usual, but usually things go a little faster. There's not so many questions, and this spreadsheet idea, which I'm all about it. I believe in that. I'm very much a spreadsheet girl myself, but I've not had so many people to be pulling spreadsheets themselves or asking for that data comparison until recently. And I have had some, but not so many. And I'm thrilled. I think AI is driving it because I think they're getting responses from their AI application that's asking them if they'd like to see a comparison, or great, telling them and guiding them this way. So I see a change coming with our buyers, I guess is what I'm saying too. And when do you get to a point where you push before you I appreciate that, getting in front of them immediately, but I deal with so many out of state buyers. I have people that buy without ever coming here. And
So
so
do you, are they looking for HOA, like the
yes,
stability of the HOA, that type of thing,
yes,
getting into the budget and all
a
of
list
that?
of things, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, other people may have another thought on this. There's two things to say. Um, it's just at what point do you want to give all that data versus like, hey, I've given you a lot of data. You see how I work. I'm very thorough, right? To do further, I need to have an agreement from you because
Right.
you may or may not realize I don't get paid a dime unless, um, unless I close deals for people. And so, it's like I don't want you to take my data and compare um and now you've got all my stuff and then you don't ultimately end up using me. And I think sometimes it's having those hard conversations. But the reason I asked is if they're wanting that. So one of my lenders posted this past week, and so I'm wondering if in addition to AI, if this is driving some of the in-depth research people are now wanting to do. So one of my lenders posted this, and I asked him if this was nationwide, and he said it is. So he said if you sell, own, or plan to buy a condo, you need this. You need to know this. Starting August 3rd, one of the biggest changes to conventional condo financing in years takes effect. For condo buildings with 10 or more units, lenders will now review the HOA budget, the reserves, the insurance, and other documents that often weren't required before. The biggest takeaway, the health of the condo building now matters just as much as the strength of the buyer. That means agents, buyers, sellers need to pay much closer attention to the HOA budgets, to the reserves, to the insurance coverage, and the overall financial health of an HOA before moving forward. I believe this will become the biggest reasons condo deals fall apart over the next 12 to 24
And
months.
this has always been the case for the foreseeable past, as long
Mhm.
as I've been an agent and longer as an investor, has always been the case on the Gulf Coast. So because of
Okay, so
storms,
we've not had that
so
here.
that's
Yeah.
new outside. You didn't have these outrageous HOA fees in the condo markets outside of the Gulf Coast or the coastal areas per se. But quite frankly, yes. I mean, all of my
It's all
lenders,
important. Yeah, I mean,
and
that should have been the case all along.
and I work with lenders and specifically only recommend when it's a condo, local lenders. I'm not sending you back to
Yeah.
your even Navy Federal, who's based down here, but I'm not sending you to Wells Fargo so they can run you through the typical crap and then tell you that you're not approved because Fannie Mae doesn't like that complex, or the reserves aren't quite right, or the flood, insurance isn't quite right. But if you're on the Gulf Coast, if any of you guys are, you got to know all that. And you can learn a lot from your lender because the local lender
That's
is
right.
has always had to do
Yeah,
that.
they've got the guidelines that are going to be required, right? Exactly. So,
And
um,
we've always had it. And I'll go back to my lender and say, can you give me this, this, and this for this property? And the good lenders that I work with closely and have, I've done an increasingly greater business the last few years, and they will give me and be helpful. The ones that kind of blow me off and say, yeah, let us know which ones they're interested in. Well, that's not helpful to me. I need
Yeah,
to know ahead of time which ones I'm even going
that's right. Which ones are the better, the more financially stable ones?
to be.
And believe it or not, here, we're not on the water like y'all, but we haven't had that same standard here, with our condo complexes, and it makes me wonder, like, yeah, anyway, we haven't had the same standard. But I just think,
It's interesting to see that it's going nationally at this point, and it does make it more difficult, but you'll learn your lenders that can navigate.
that's
Those
exactly
are the
right.
ones you want to use
100%.
because,
That's right.
you know, it's rare these days that we have cash buyers. We do sometimes, but unless it's a cash buyer, there's so many obstacles, and they are obstacles. And if you're aware of it, then you can prepare ahead of time. You don't want to do all the work
That's
for
right.
a condominium
And then find
complex.
out you can't even get a loan on the
And they
building.
say, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Fannie Mae put it on the do not lend list,
Yeah.
or their reserves are well under, which
Yeah.
is, these were part of her questions. So she did her homework.
Yeah.
My true belief is that she put it into Chat GPT and said, what questions do you ask? Because I've done that myself. Everybody does, right? And, you know, then since she sends it to me, my thought is that she wanted to see how I respond. And I wish that I had taken the advice that you're giving now at the beginning of the week and said, you see how I work. I'm very thorough. I'm a numbers person. You already received my bio, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and meet. But instead, she gave me an appointment today. And so I kept kind of going back and forth the whole week. And I look back and go, my goodness, I've taught a seminar.
You've given her everything. Yeah, you've given her everything at this point.
Couple
Yeah.
quick thoughts because I think will apply to everybody here. Like in the sense, first of all, we've had two trainings, which I put both of them in the chat, Tina, and for everybody, it was this whole idea that buyers and sellers are getting more and more and more educated, to some degree, or they just know more and more. They are using Chat GPT
Yeah.
to find things and get answers. And so those two trainings deal with that. The one was, what modern buyers really want from real estate agents. The other one, AI isn't taking your job, but this agent might. I would tell you to watch both of those at some point because it does talk about that just for all of us, how we need to be on top of this kind of stuff. I love what Tim said. Take, just even have Chat GPT. What are the top 10 questions that buyers will ask an agent, whatever, and write 10 blogs, whatever, and put that onto your website and send those out in your newsletters, like become that authority, whatever. You could do that kind of stuff, whatever, to be ready for that. Now, the other thing too, though, I think just another thought is something that I learned way back 24 years ago when I started working with Craig Proctor, but the coaching stuff was just, why should a buyer hire you? Why should a seller hire you? Now that answer has changed over time, but again, you've got to have not just be the authority, but what makes you different? What makes you stand out? So Craig was always big on having a USP, a unique selling proposition. So I had it for buyers, I had it for sellers. With buyers, whenever I would tell these buyers, hey, just so you know, we're the only ones in town that do this. If you decide to work with me, I've got an 18-month guarantee. If for any reason you're unhappy with your home purchase within 18 months, it could be anything. Too far of a drive to work, you need a bigger bedroom, backyard's too small for the kids, don't like the next door neighbor, whatever. I got you covered. I will either buy the house back from you or I will sell it for free. So you could find the house that you really, really want. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Where do I sign? I mean, this is what would happen. They're getting emails from 5 other agents and I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. It was a lead that came in and I'm talking to them on the phone and they don't want more emails from more agents, but I just tell them that. And now they're pushing every other agent aside and they're going yeah, we'll work with you because I addressed one of their biggest concerns. Will I get the best deal? What if I don't like the house? What if I have buyer's remorse a month after I get in there or whatever? Now I'm stuck with something I didn't want. I never had to buy the house back. That was part of the guaranteed sale program ever. There were maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 times over all the years where something would happen and they needed to make a move. Now, the conditions on that program, they had to be buying another house with me. Job transfer out of state, whatever, moving to get closer to family, all that kind of stuff doesn't apply. I can still list their house the normal way. But, if they're just, I don't know, it is farther of a drive. The commute's just killing them. It's a 30-minute commute and they don't want to do that every day. So we want to get something closer to work. Okay, I will list your house. I'll do 0 on my side. We're going to pay 3% or 2.5%, whatever it is, to the other agent coming in. Okay. And then I'm still going to get paid when you use me as your buyer agent to buy the next home. So I'm still making money, And so, but I had that guarantee in place. It's just things to think about. Like, how can I make myself stand out? Like, why should a buyer hire me? I'm the hardest working agent in town. You hear these kind of things like, no, you're not. And how do you even prove that? And what does that even mean? It's like, you hear all this kind of stuff. I'm the best agent. I'm no, you got to have like a reason that will affect a buyer and a seller. So these are just things to think about as well for everybody on here. Like, what are some unique selling? What are some unique things that you can come up with? And we can help you with those. We've had trainings on those, just different kinds of guarantees that take away the seller's concerns, take away the buyer's concerns. I've got a guy in Chicago. He's not with us here today, Frank, but he has a thing, whatever, with expired listings. Your home sold in 39 days guaranteed, or I'll sell it for free. Yeah, exactly. Tim's done it. I've done it. Now that's perfect for when homes are sitting in the market for 60, 70 days. Now, again, there's parameters on it. It's your program. Some conditions apply. They have to price it where you say to price it.
Right.
Well, we want to try it up here. Okay, we can do that, but the 39-day guarantee doesn't work. Because here's where it's probably going to sell. It's going to sell in this range here. Well, let's try this. Okay, we can try this, whatever, but I'm not going to do the guarantee. If we start it here, I will guarantee, and it's not that it has to be closed in 39 days. We just have to have a contract in 39 days. And you might even have 1 or 2 price reductions automatically put in there. Now, every now and then will it happen where I actually, it didn't work and it went longer than that and I had to sell it for free? Yeah, maybe here and there. But if I did it right and market it right and price it right with some price reductions, I'm going to be under contract within a couple of weeks. And not have, and it gets me the deal because it takes away that sellers don't want their house sitting on the market for 4 months and all the hassles that go along with it. So I will sell it in 39 days guaranteed, or you don't have to pay me anything. And they'll sign on with me versus the other agents that they met with. Things like that, right? Tim, you want to jump in? You want to say anything on that?
Yeah, first, I love all that. I've done a lot of that myself.
Yeah.
Tina, I want to come to you get that lead that comes in asking you all these questions. Those are awesome questions. You've done your homework. Before anything, I need to jump on a Zoom with you for 10 or 15 minutes, meet you, teach you how I work. That's the answer. The legal answer is you cannot share your opinion with somebody you don't have an agency agreement with.
Mm-hmm.
Think through the law of it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to compare budgets from different condominium complexes and make a recommendation of this one over that one until you've decided to hire me.
Mm-hmm.
Say that before this meeting or even necessarily during that meeting, but you've got to push for the meeting. You've got to go for the buyer brokerage out of the gate would be my recommendation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're one of 10 agents answering the exact same questions. All they're going to do is compare answers for thoroughness.
Right.
So
You have
no,
differentiated yourself.
So you've taken it a step further, or is this based in the law that we are not to give information without that buyer brokerage agreement?
That is my interpretation and my opinion. I would call Holly and say, here's the situation. When are you comfortable with me sharing budgets and financial statements and giving buyers comparisons of which condo building is better than? I don't want you doing any of that before you've got an agreement.
I agree.
Why do you want to work for free?
Right, exactly.
I did it this week, so
Are you
today. I'm
are
glad
you
I'm
giving
here.
her opinions on which one, or are you just giving her data?
I'm giving her data, but I think there's, probably some opinion that seeps in there. But no, I'm
Good point, Tim. Like you got to
definitely-
be careful with the law, like what that says you can do. You can't, the things that you have to have that agreement in place for. That's a really good point.
I would, I mean, the good news is this: you have questions, and now you've got the essence of all of this. Go to blog. What you now is this monthly market updates. You can do condo blogs instead of neighborhoods, new construction. Here's where I'm getting to. So you have take every one and turn it into a blog post. There's 12 or 13 of them right here. And this site, because of the way I've built it, now not ranks the wrong word, scores a 9% AEO. That means buyers searching and asking questions about real estate agents in my area. My name is going to start becoming a recommended realtor to choose. You've got all the data to now go to work, and Claude will write all this for you. Nothing I've just special. It's just organized and put on a website that's going to be AEO, SEO, and GEO findable. Is that my internet still messing up?
It is.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're getting
Yeah, we're getting the gist of it.
yeah, for
No,
sure.
that's very helpful. Do you guys pay for someone to make your blogs or your posts or the information that you're posting and presenting searchable,
Claude.
Claude? Okay.
Now that website is I subscribed, I think Jeff did too, to Nick's Halo. That's a Halo website. I built it in 23 minutes, and I put about 12 hours into it, tweaking it. Post a blog every single weekday. And I also post the Google Business post. I posted on another website a condensed version of the article with a canonical back to this website, making it the authoritative site. I mean, it's pretty amazing what that whole thing that Nick presented to us a month ago, 6 weeks ago does.
I'm really considering that, so
Mhm.
I need to work on that.
It's $100 a month,
Yeah,
but
I
for what
really-
it does is phenomenal. I mean, my goodness, you get one deal out of that thing, and it's going to lead to multiple deals. It's an amazing tool.
I would replace that site you've been building and the people you've been paying to do all that for you for $99 a month instead of whatever it's costing you. And it'll be better because it's all done with AEO in mind.
You're muted, Tina.
I go through the Freedom Team link to go apply for it, so y'all get credit, and it's coming from the Freedom Team. Or do I?
No, we don't get any credit.
No
No.
credit.
It's not
or
an
nothing. I just
not
wanted
an
to know
affiliate
that
arrangement.
that's how I knew about it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, tell Nick, that we sent you, but we don't get anything for it. Yet. I probably should hit him up for that.
That's an idea. We need to talk to Nick. So, no, it's good.
You said that was Halo, is that right?
Yeah, let's see. Do we have a? Let me see if I've got the link here because I think I think I have the link saved.
I mean, I just did my whole website through GoDaddy, so that, I mean, when I first started, that was one of the things that some of these videos, get a GoDaddy account, get your website, get your domain, da 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 da.
Right. All this
So,
technology
it's
is
done
just
now.
moving so fast. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay.
Jamie, nothing lost there. The recommendation was probably to go to GoDaddy and get a URL, not to go to GoDaddy and build a website. Because I know Jeff and my same opinion. I would have said go to GoDaddy and buy, jamiethompson.com like that. But then you point that to the site, whether it's your KV Core site or your Bold Trail or your Lofty or what have you, then that Go URL can be pointed to whatever website you're using.
So currently, and that's kind of the same, premise of what I've done, what I've been working on for the last, couple months is I wanted to kind of tie all of my things back together. So I mean, I had one website, well, one domain name, I guess, is jamiethompsonrealtor.com. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to do that because then it just like, I feel like it's kind of generic, but I wound up keeping it and I tied it to my website. So it's yourpreferredrealtor.com. And so if you put in either one, it goes to that. And so when you go to the website, you can put like there's a button that you can set. It says let's talk. So you can like it automatically generates an email that comes to me. And then the next one is, you can search for your home values or do a home search for the buyers and sellers. And so that takes you to my EXP Realty website that's got that's got all of this stuff on there. So that's what I've been doing too, is just trying to do a full loop, so that it brings everybody back to, the EXP. You can do a home search. You can go to my Facebook page. You can, go to my insurance page. I'm hiring. I'm trying to, build a team. I'm doing all of the things. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I just wanted to show everybody the tool aeositechecker.com. Put your website in there and it's giving you the score. Same score I told you, mine has a 99, and it's because I'm using a Halo site that's for AEO, SEO, and GEO.
Okay.
This will go down here and tell you, well, you're scoring nothing on semantic HTML, whatever that is. Answer engine signals, poor score there, 20 out of 31. It'll tell you, and all this stuff, at least with Nix, I can say, go in and make my JSON-LD record structure. It may improve this, include that, and do it with a text message. So anyway, kind of Nix
That's actually
stuff, but for bucks, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. And you could use, and Jamie, just saying, if you decide to do something different, you can use the same domain name. You're just pointing it to a different page,
Yeah.
whatever. But now I will say that 75 score is better than what my initial score was. My score when I put in my Bold Trail site, when I put it in there, was a 39.
Okay.
And then the site that I've got with Nick, when I first did it, it was like an 89. But then I just took that page, Tim, and I took the link to it and I put it in the Halo chat, whatever. Hey, can, look at this and make the corrections. And it's like 10 minutes later, it's done. Everything's live. I went in, now it's a 93. And then I went in and did it again. And here's the 3 things now. And it's fixed that. I'm up to a 99 right now. Not at 100, but I'm at a 99, which makes it's found by AI, and AI searches and all this kind of stuff. And it's updating every week. I've got my blog doing 3 times a week, but I'm also adding my own stuff in there too. I'm linking it up to listing sites. I did a listing site just to share this and not to be a big plug for all this, but it is a great tool. I went in yesterday, we just put this new listing on the market yesterday. And so I literally just took the Zillow. I went to Zillow. You just take the Zillow link and I put it in here, and it took it about 15 minutes and it made this website right here for the listing. I did nothing. I mean, I literally just picked the style of site I wanted, and that was it. 15 minutes later, I get a text on my phone that your site's ready. I go in here and it goes down. It does like a little blog thing for it. It's got all this over here. It did this video, pretty cool video, whatever. It's just like it does this, like it made a video that, and this, we're just, it's just, this is a single mom we're trying to help out. I mean, it's just, it made the video.
This is on Halo.
This is it's all through Nick's site. It did it all. But so here's all the pictures, tells more about the neighborhood down here. Here's the neighborhood, view the full neighborhood guide. It advertises us down here. It's got blogs up here about the neighborhood. I'm going to take this. I've already posted this out on sites. I'm going to put this, I'll post multiple things with this out onto Google Business and Facebook and bring them back to this. And right up here, they can schedule a tour. If they go to schedule a tour, it's connecting them to us. Whatever, get on my calendar, so we can go look. And it's very cool what it's all doing. But then it all links back to these different sites. So it's a cool platform. It's something to look at, whatever. If I don't know, just trying to
And
keep up
here's
with
how
all
to
this
make money
technology.
with it.
What's that?
Here's how to make money with it.
Yeah.
Sites in Nick's deal. And then the extra websites cost you, it's either $79 or $99 one-time fee. But let's say Jeff's site he just showed you, do that on the listing you're about to go on tonight and show the seller the website for their house that you've already built. Yeah, this is just one of the ways I'm going to market your property. Look, I've already done it. Are they going to hire you? Or are they going to hire somebody that didn't do that?
Yeah, I'm using those sites absolutely. If I go on a listing appointment or meet somebody, like even these expired listings I'm getting ready to go after, I'm going to show them this because I'll use those. I'll use that site to build out a website for each one of those. But again, it does it all within like all I got to do is put the Zillow link in, or you could upload your own photos and all that. I'm just like put the Zillow link in and let it go to work. And about 15 minutes later, you got a site, and it's a full blown all kinds of stuff. But to take that into a listing appointment, let me show you what I'm going to do.
What website is that, Jeff?
So it's this is from Nick. When Nick came in a couple of months ago, did a training. It's this right. You can scan that in your QR code or just text CREM to that number, and it'll send you the info on it if you want to learn more. Oh wait, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? My bad. Hold on. Sorry. Right there. So if you scan that in with your phone, or just text CREM to that number, and you can just get information on it. So
Thank you.
Nick doesn't come in much and sell things, and we don't like to sell things on our trainings and stuff. But every now and then, there's something that comes along. It's like, holy cow! Like, okay,
Well, yeah,
Does
anything
it guide you?
help.
what's that?
Guide you setting up, because
It's so
I got to
simple.
get rid of my guide you through linking to your current.
It's so simple. Yes.
Okay.
It took about 20 minutes up front when I first did because I'm putting in all my stuff. I had to upload some different things to it, whatever, and then it just goes to work. And then you can go online and email. You're on the computer. It's probably a little easier, but you can just text it. Yeah, add this, take away this. Can you do this? And it's literally like you're talking to It's got 30 AI bots that are working behind the scenes to do all this kind of stuff. It's almost like you hired 30 people.
And so for us, with the URL already paid for through GoDaddy, which had done the same thing in the beginning, we just tell it what our URL is, or is it more complicated?
I think you have to go to GoDaddy and just get it.
It'll tell you exactly what to do, Tina. You tell your Halo agent, I have a URL, Hollenden.com, point it to this site you've just built for me. Walk me through how to do that. Step by step by step. 15 minutes later, it's working.
Okay.
That's exactly what and on your other question, how do you set it up? Does it take long? It'll give you a one-page, or you can take that questionnaire, put it in ChatGPT or Claude, and tell it to answer the questions for you, because your AI should know you that well. And then you take what it created and you give it back to Halo. Took minutes, it'll take you 2 minutes if you follow that process.
I just text them and they just ask me name and stuff like that. Is this kind of confused? What is it?
So they're asking you if you're ready to sign up, and when you click on, they'll send you a link once you give them your name and information. And when
I did put the link to that site. I'll put it back in here. It's in the chat. Let me put it in here again, because you can just go online and just go to the site if you want to read about it and check it out.
So basically, what you do, you sign up account with them and pay a monthly fee, and now you can tell them.
It's $100 a month, and you build out. You get 2 websites that are included in that, like your own personal site that Tim shared. I showed a little bit of mine earlier. You can create another site, like a niche sort of site, whatever. But then you can also do listings with it. The listing sites do cost extra, but that's just a one-time fee, not a monthly fee. So, but again, just ways to market, ways to get more listings, ways to get appointments, ways to get leads, ways to set up more stuff.
So do I still have to pay the other one, or just they take it all over? Like I have a 91david.com for 20-something years. I just pay them like whatever the fee that they have and adacimortgage.com that are using GoDaddy. So if we go with them, we don't have to pay the other people anymore, or hosting, or what? Or that's a totally different thing.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Like, you know,
I think David, I think what you're asking is you would just pay the domain name for GoDaddy, but you wouldn't pay the website if you have your website site through them. You would be paying it through the other site, and you would have GoDaddy switch everything over to the new one.
so
But if you've had a website for 2 decades, keep it. You're not going to replace it.
Yeah.
But go do the AEO site checker on your URL site, and you're going to be unpleasantly surprised on how poorly it scores, because everything's changed from SEO to AEO and GEO.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. I just did the one you had on my Daci mortgage, which is recently it's 61, and the other one that I have, like, let me see, 91 David, it not even have a score. It's like 20-something years. But what I'm saying, if we go into this one right here that you're talking about, Hollow, are we just transfer everything to them, or is that the link, or what is it?
They're going to build
You're
out
going
a
to
whole
build
new
a whole new
website.
website, but it's going
Yeah.
to it's going to make you findable with AI after about 3 or 4 months, just building the site and following the instructions, correcting the errors that the AEO site checker finds. Leave your other site alone. Brand new site, build literally in about 30 minutes. And you can
Right.
just tweak it, and you can take the advice I gave Tina about blogging every day, and you'll become the searchable agent in your market through AI tools like Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini and Perplexity and all the. You're building something that's going to make your name searchable. Go back and watch that training. I can't do it justice, David.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Go back, not the one Nick's training from, not the last one, but the one before. It was when he came in June. The June training with Nick was the training where he talked about this whole platform. So if you want to watch that, in fact, here, let me just find that and put it in the chat so you guys have it. Okay. That would be one to just go back and watch if you have an interest in this, if you missed that one. And again, here's why I would just remind you guys, when you can, just come to these things, because I mean, again, there's just stuff going on, and we get questions in here sometimes, and it's because you're missing some of these trainings that we're doing. You know what I mean? Here, let me go back and I'll find it right here. This is the one. Put it in the chat. There you go. That link right there, that'll take you to the training where he walked through and explained everything about that system. Okay, so just take a look at that. And it's all there. So, okay. 10:03. Any other questions, comments, anything before we wrap it up?
Just wanted to say thank you. This has been informative, and
good to see you.
Yeah, same.
Sure.
I remember seeing Kathy when I was first on here for a while. But and Tim. So yeah, I'm excited to plug back in and get going. So yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, and
Yeah.
we are here for all of you. So
All right.
Thank
let us know how we can help.
Yep.
Thanks so
All right,
much.
guys. Have a great day. Have a good weekend.
Happy Friday. Have a great weekend.
There we go.
Weekend. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.